Hi guys, my name is Mark Barbie and this is my MARP assignment and it is on Classcraft. Now before I get into explaining what Classcraft is, I want to talk a little bit about gamification. What does it mean to gamify your classroom? Well, when you gamify your classroom, you are taking the curriculum as it is and you are intertwining it with a game platform, whether it's online or could be in cards, uh, giving them tasks or quests, which create a sense of competition, right, either amongst themselves or amongst teams. And then you are essentially replacing the work with games and incentives. Now, Classcraft is a role-playing game where students get to choose an avatar. They can customize it to however they want it to look. They can earn things like pets and different powers and different decorations for their characters, and so it gives them uh, a sense of ownership of what they're doing. And then it's a self-paced learning system, so they have quests, and in order to move from one quest to the next, they have to accomplish whatever the goal is, and that goal is set by you, the teacher, and they are the ones going along the journey, completing the things that you want them to do. Oh, it's a great teaching platform. You can use it to, you know, embed the curriculum and help them move along through the material that you have that you're going to be teaching anyways. And it's also a great classroom management platform. It allows you to use reward punishment system. It creates team building since you can put them into teams and they have to help one another to achieve goals. And if one person fails, then they all get a hit. So they're incentivized to help one another. And you can actively reward students with points, and you can take away health, which we'll get into a little bit more later on in this presentation. Now, classroom management. Why classroom management? Well, we all know that classroom management is probably the most important thing when it comes to teaching and creating a healthy learning environment. We need to establish routines and create norms, and Classcraft allows you to do that. You can, once you get them in the system and they're rolling, they know they need to come in, and then today is quest day, so they're going to come in and they're going to log into their avatars and they're going to start completing quests. Or today is going to be assessment day and they know that they're going to be doing their assessment battle. And classroom management is great for maintaining behaviors. You want the behaviors that the desirable behaviors are incentivized. So when somebody does something good, you can reward them with gold or with experience points to let them level up. And when they do something wrong, they can take a hit to their health points, and uh, you know it allows for accountability throughout the classroom without having to you know do anything punitive to them, as far as sending them out of the classroom or anything like that. And it helps keep a cohesive atmosphere. You want a good environment, like I said, a good learning environment, where it's safe and everybody understands the expectations and they can move along through the process. Um, and actual good learning can take place. Now, before I get into my explanation of why I chose Classcraft and how it looks from the teacher's perspective, I want to play a short video that it kind of explains what Classcraft does.
Classcraft takes classroom management and turns it into a game you play with your students for the whole year. As opposed to gamifying specific curriculum like math or English, Classcraft gamifies the whole classroom experience. You still teach your classes in the way you normally do, but when a student behaves in a way you think makes them a better learner, you award them with XP or experience points. This could be for helping someone with an assignment or for correctly answering a question. Students use these experience points to level up and unlock awesome real-life powers. These can be anything you want, from being able to eat in class, or handing in an assignment a day late, or even being able to ask for a hint on an exam. Whatever your powers may be, it's essential they offer something students genuinely want and are motivated to earn. At the same time, you can also take away health points, or HP, if a student behaves in a negative way. This could happen when someone arrives late to class or is rude to another student. Like in any game, if a student loses all their health points, they could fall in battle. Then they receive a negative consequence of your choosing, like having to sing in front of the class or having to hand in an assignment a day early. This mechanism is an important part to the experience because classcraft is played in teams, and having real risks and rewards is key to fostering collaboration between teammates. Students can protect each other when someone on their team takes damage, giving them agency in the game. That's why if one of their teammates does fall in battle, the whole team will then lose HP. This makes it motivating for students to truly support one another in class. As a result of playing Classcraft, students are much more likely to make sure the class stays on task, behaves in a positive manner, and ultimately thrives. Those are the basics you need to know to start playing. If you want to take the game even further, there are several tools built in to help.
Now I want to show how Classcraft can be used from the teacher's perspective. So this is what it looks like, the game dashboard. So it's first period. You have your students enrolled, and you can look at them individually. So I can look at this student's health points, their action points, and then their XP. And then I can filter through or cycle through the different characters or students that are represented by these characters, and I can, award points for doing good things, and we can take away health points. Maybe they're being too loud or they're bullying. I can look at them in teams. So if I have a team of 3 here, I look at how they're all doing collectively, can mark them absent, keep roll, attendance, and then you can look at your entire class as a whole, which allows you to, if you're walking around the classroom and you have this screen open, you can just easily click on a student and then award them or punish them however you see fit. Now you have class tools, which are great. You have a random picker, which essentially would replace equity sticks or something of that nature. And you have random events. So if the class is kind of like bogging down a little bit and you want something to spice it up, they have these random events. You can click on them and then they come in, and it is just a random thing that you can edit. So this one, for instance, says, the selected students must stay standing for the entire class. Now that's something that I wouldn't want to do, but it's you can give it to them. So you put this out there, it randomly chooses a student, and then that student has to, or it's saying all warriors, so all the warriors have to stand up the whole class. It could be fun, but it's all up to you, and everything is customizable. You also have a volume meter, which is great if you're doing like group work, but you want their voices to stay maintained at a certain level. You can click on the volume meter, and it will, as long as you have a microphone in the class, it will display the sound level in the classroom, and if they hit a certain point, then everybody will get hit with some HP minus. And then you have boss battles, which is great to gamify the formative review portion. So instead of them, just taking a normal test like they normally would, you can create this boss battle where they answer the question and then they get to, their avatar will attack the boss, and if they get something wrong, it'll attack them back. So it keeps it fun and makes them engaged, and they want to get it right because they want to win the battle. And then you have the quest section, which is the part that takes a lot of creativity on the teacher's part. So you create this quest, and each quest has objectives along the way. So this is a lesson on equations, and they have to create find the sum of angles, create a rule, apply the rule, and then solve simple equations. And then they get to the end, and then that's where you would put in your boss battle. Now, when you create these, you have a story. So you create a story like the land of equations, and there's a evil dragon, and you have to conquer it. In order to conquer it, you have to complete quests that are set before you. So as you go on through, the story continues, and then there's a task attached to it. And this is something like something that you would be teaching regardless, but they get to, you know, do it through a gaming platform, which makes them, a little more excited and want to move through the story. And then you can have discussions, class announcements, so everybody can see it, or they can individually talk to one another. And then parents can get in on it too. And then you can reward them with gold pieces too, so that they can buy pets, and they can buy different clothes, and they can do things. And then as they experience goes up, they gain levels, and then they can have more powers and everything. And it's a really awesome platform. Now, it's all about making the curriculum fun. So students by the age of 21 have played 10,000 hours of video games, and Classcraft makes learning video game like. You have the story mode, and they get into it, and they want to get from one activity to the next, so they can read the next part of the story, or they can watch the next video. Stimulating visuals, the avatars, they have custom made videos that you can input into your scenes. Like, so if once they accomplish something, they get to watch this video, and it's very stimulating, and it creates that desire to move through the curriculum. And then the only way to do that is to actually understand it and get it right. And those levels are set by you as the teacher, which is just such a great and unique way to teach any subject. So that is the end of my presentation, or my references, and thank you for listening.